Hello, I'm Cindy with Wisconsin Voices for Recovery, and this is Speak Out on Stigma. Today we'll be hearing from Jeff. Hi, Jeff. How are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. I'm good. So tell me, why does stigma have such a negative influence on people battling substance use disorder when seeking treatment?
Well, I think it mostly has to do with the person trying to recover their own feelings about themselves. Uh, Guilt and shame are just very, very common. And so to have people stigmatizing them for their attempts to get better, to achieve some wellness with that is just it's bound to have a severely negative impact on them. um, the guilt and shame, and we all feel that. uh, when you start to finally get into recovery, you realize what you've done to yourself, to your family, to the people around you, and you cannot help but feel a great sense of shame. It took me a long time to get over that, so it has a very negative impact on people seeking help.
Yeah, that speaks to something really important, that internalized guilt and shame from having a substance use disorder, and that stigma really adding another layer of guilt and shame and difficulty, which just causes more barriers and makes it harder to get help and reach out.
Yeah. And typically actually are going to be feeling guilt and shame the entire time that they're suffering through the worst parts of their addiction. And so even before they start to look for some help, looking for help, they're going to be feeling badly about themselves and scared they're going to run into stigma. Even if it's not there, they're still going to be afraid that it's going to be out there.
Yeah, this is true. And what would you want people to know and remember about those who are seeking or in recovery?
I think what I would like them to remember is that when people are seeking help in recovery, help for recovery, they are suffering from a disease. They're suffering from the disease that's a mental illness, and so they they're asking for our help and support. And to be stigmatizing them just simply because they're looking for help for a situation that's beyond their own control is it's wrong. It's just wrong. And so we need to remember that they are simply looking for help for a situation that can be corrected if they're given the support that they need.
That's really important, the support and help, um, especially within the context of, we just talked about that shame and the guilt, which can be a heaviness, that people are also carrying, and to not have that help and support when you're already carrying the weight of the struggle, um, it makes it even harder.
Yes.
Is there anything else you'd like to add?
um I guess I would like to kind of talk a little bit about my personal experiences with stigma. And I when I first got into recovery, I think I was very lucky because I was taken to the psych ward. I had tried to kill myself. I was taken to the psych ward, and there I realized that I needed help. And the people there expressed a total willingness to assist me in trying to recover and find sobriety. And then when I left, I was basically a local media sensation because I had been arrested and charged with 4 felony counts, drug counts. And in a small town like Rhinelander, that's big news. And so I was on the front page of the local paper for weeks. And everyone in town knew what I had done. Everyone in town was aware of what I was and what I was doing. And so I had to be very upfront about that I was recovering from drug addiction and that I was doing what I had to do to make myself better, to heal. And so stigma didn't really affect me because I was past that. I was past being a drug addict. I was a drug addict in recovery. So I just didn't allow it to prevent me from doing what I was doing to continue my recovery. So that was very helpful. Um, I think really people who stigmatize other people for anything are just simply displaying their own bigotry. And it's no different than homophobia or transphobia. It's just a form of bigotry. And bigotry to me is ignorance. And so all we really can do about it is try to be very public about what we're doing, try to educate those who would stigmatize us, that we are your friends and neighbors, we are part of your community, and we can be a very positive part of your community if you allow us to do the work that we're trying to do.
Yeah, I agree. Education is key and awareness is key.
I mean, bigotry is always going to be there, and bigots will always be bigots, but we can at least neutralize what they're doing simply by not allowing them to keep us down, to make us, what they really want to do is make us go into the shadows again and not be within their view, and we're not going to do that. I don't think we should.
Yes, I agree. And you had mentioned earlier about, you know, getting past the stigma once you got into recovery, which really highlights that recovery can be a source of hope, and recovery can be a way itself to reduce the impact of stigma, to eliminate stigma, to speak out against stigma, because you're showing that, look, this stigma that you're placing on us is not true. You know, we are growing, we are healing, we are helping.
I think if you allow it to be, that stigma can actually be a catalyst for you in recovery, that having to deal with stigma can make you more vocal about recovery, and that would just naturally help the people coming up behind you, because if you are out front in public about being in recovery, then that lessens the impact of stigma. It's not going to lessen the stigma, but it'll lessen the impact on those that are looking for recovery, but they're afraid to come up against the stigma.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you so much, Jeff, for sharing your views on stigma. And thank you to our viewers for watching. Speak Out on Stigma is a forum to raise awareness about the harmful impact of stigma on those in and seeking recovery. Recovery is for everyone. Together, we can eliminate stigma. Don't forget to like, comment, and share this video. Thank you and have a good day.